Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book Rites of Spring. In 1977, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration launched the Voyager 1 probe into space. The space probe carried a record of various sounds and music found on Earth. Among these was a selection from Igor Stravinsky's ballet The Rite of Spring. Some joked saying, "Wouldn't listening to the Rite of Spring make aliens uneasy?" The reason for this was due to the melody in the Rite of Spring being very random and confusing for many. Such anti-logical and chaotic rhythm can irritate the hearing and could even cause physical discomfort. When the ballet premiered in 1913, it sparked a riot at the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées in Paris. Some recalled that the actors on stage were unable to step on the beat because of the chaotic rhythm and that the sound of whistles, boos, and all sorts of commotion from below the stage overwhelmed the already noisy music. Afterwards, in its release to the public, it also provoked a seismic response in the music industry. As the larger public came to know of this music that worked against tradition, it became a controversial topic and drew even more criticism. 100 years later, however, its music and revolutionary nature have been widely acknowledged by musicians. Edward Gregson says the Rite of Spring in fact signaled the true birth of modernism, more than Schoenberg's 12-tone music ever did. Conductors like Herbert von Karajan and Leonard Bernstein have also worked with Berlin Philharmonic and New York Philharmonic to perform it around the world. Why was this? Let's first look at how it was conceived. Stravinsky, a Russian-American composer, drew inspiration from a scene of a pagan ritual in which a chosen sacrificial virgin dances herself to death in order to create the ballet The Rite of Spring. The ballet depicts people dancing passionately under the guidance of elders to celebrate the arrival of spring in the mysterious primitive tribe. Subsequently, as a sacrifice to spring, a young girl is chosen to dance herself to death. The ballet was thus unconventional in its content, music, dance, and form. Some see the Rite of Spring as a symbol of the birth of modern dance, arguing that it drove a musical revolution. It encourages people to appreciate music in all forms, whether that music is traditional tonal music, atonal music against tradition, or the sounds of nature. The book we are going to share with you today is also titled Rites of Spring, subtitled The Great War and the Birth of the Modern Age. As we have mentioned earlier, The Rite of Spring is a work of modern ballet. But how does a ballet relate to World War I? Why is this ballet considered to be the birth of the modern age? By chronicling the events from the 1913 premiere of the ballet The Rite of Spring to Hitler's death in 1945, this book probes into the causes and effects of World War I from an artistic perspective. It provides an insightful reading of the relationship between social consciousness, cultural dynamics, and World War I. In this book, Eksteins examines the lives of ordinary people, literary works, and significant social events of the time, showing how people in particular historical periods established modern ideas and forms of awareness. Modris Eksteins is a prominent Canadian historian, professor of history at the University of Toronto, and best-selling author. His book Rites of Spring was named one of the best books of 2000 by the Globe and Mail and the New York Times that year. Also, the book won the Trillium Book Award of Ontario, Canada. The book prize was created in 1987 and is now one of the prestigious book awards in Canada. The Literary Review of Canada once said that the book is one of the 100 best books ever published in Canada. Next, we will explain the book with 3 sections. Section 1, Characteristics of Avant-Garde Art. Section 2, The relationship between war and avant-garde art. Section 3, Why is World War I said to be the birth of the modern age? Part 1, Characteristics of Avant-Garde art. First, let's look at the first section in order to understand the definition and characteristics of avant-garde art. Avant-garde was originally a French term. It refers to those